Okay, this is gonna be how to become a mind reader or read people's minds. So, but for real, um, you can do this, and it's possible. And the way that you do it is that you you have to like have a state of consciousness where you can put yourself in the other person's shoes, but like in the nth degree. So you look at them and all you see is the all you see is the different aspects that they have that are like you, so like you just all you see is every single good thing about them that you like, or depending on how you feel about yourself, because it's a state of consciousness and it's dependent on all of your blockages and everything like that as well. So if you have blockages in your lower areas, then you're going to end up feeling fear because of this instead of feeling love. But yeah, so you recognize these similar aspects in these other people, and then you can latch on to their thoughts about those specific aspects that you feel. So you have to empty your mind. You have to get really good at emptying your mind to the point where you can recognize when, or not, it's not controlling your thoughts, but you can slow down your thought patterns to the point where they come so slowly that you recognize when they're your thoughts and when they are not your thoughts, or the ones that you want to think, right? Like me in particular, I'm like, okay, I just want to be happy, so I'm just going to think happy thoughts. And all of these other thoughts, no matter how gripping they are, I'm going to let them go and not pay any attention to them because I want to feel happy. So, but this is also has a lot to do with reading people's minds as well, because it's dependent on the state of consciousness that you're in. So if you're in this weird self-loathing state of consciousness, then you're literally only going to see the thoughts that are in that vibrational frequency in the other person's minds. You're not going to see the beauty in them. You're going to see all the flaws. And that can be informational as well. And you can use that to like talk to people and get to know them on a deeper level and help them. Some people use that information to manipulate and control people, but it's dependent on the type of being and like the service that you want to offer. My particular choice is service to other people. I try to give it at literally any point that I possibly can, and that brings me extreme feelings of love and gratefulness and thankfulness and peace and joy and just all around good feelings. So there's other things you can do with the mind patterns, such as sending thought patterns to other people. And you can actually use this to make people smile and make people feel really, really good really quickly. Like they'll be really confused at why they feel so good all of a sudden, and then sometimes it'll even trigger people who have a lot of blockages in their lower areas, and they'll feel really, really good for just a second, and their ego will kick in, and then they'll start to feel anger, or they'll feel self-pity or something like that, because they can't believe the feelings that they're feeling. And then that's a emotional impulse that's sent from somebody else. I've actually given people existential crises from doing that before, and it's very powerful. And I can try to speak on how to do this, but um, it comes with meditation and being able to quiet your mind to the point where you are able to distinguish your own thoughts from other people. And that's when you can start to tap into other people's energy. So it seems going on both polarities, right? So the negative polarity, the way that they use their lower energy centers in order to contact intelligent infinity is through force, right? Force and manipulation and control. They're forcefully controlling their thoughts to only think things that they think will serve themselves, right? And they do that to the point where they can contact intelligent infinity by only thinking the thoughts that they want to think and sending a direct message and having a direct contact line for one small stream of thoughts that they want. The way it works on the positive side is that the information just flows. So you send an emotional impulse, and when your heart is open, then you are open to anything that comes back, right? And depending on the vibration that you're sitting on, the information will be different. So the blockages that you have will change the nature of the information that you get. So if you have blockages, then that information will seem like it's dreadful, or it'll seem like it's angering, or it'll seem triggering in some kind of way. And that's not a bad thing, it just means that you may need to reassess that information after you deal with these blockages that you have. And until you can take this information and not feel any fear or any self-doubt about it, that's when you know that you'll be able to actually interpret the information correctly and that you don't have blockages anymore. You'll feel these downloads come to you, and you'll just feel complete gratefulness for it and just love every single time that you get this information, because you just feel so blessed to be able to receive this. But going back to going back to being mind reading, it's all about emptying your mind and becoming aware of every single thought that comes through your mind. And when you get around people, sometimes, especially if you have something in that root and sacral area that's like a little bit jumbled, I've had this happen a lot of times where you can tap into the energy of the other person and yourself, but it feels like it's coming from you, and you start to question yourself of like, why am I feeling these feelings? Like, why am I like thinking this way or something like that? That is actually you tapping into the other person's thoughts and feelings. And I've given people existential crisis that way too, because I've literally like, what's happened was like I felt like sexual impulses come from another person, and I called it out, and I basically was like, yeah, dude, I can kind of like feel your thoughts. And they started freaking out because they knew exactly what I was saying, and they almost just like wouldn't talk to me afterwards because they were so like just distraught by that. But like, yeah, it comes from emptying your mind and not judging anything that comes into your head, because you are the observer of that, and not the experiencer. I mean, you are the experiencer, but like you don't have to identify with the negative portions of it. You can identify with the positive things. So like even if you feel dread, you can identify with the fact that that's giving you the polarity to be able to feel extreme existential love at some point. And once you start to feel that gratefulness flow through you, then your heart will open and you'll start to feel love a lot more. And then once your heart is open, then you'll easily be able to tap into other people's memories and all this other stuff after a little bit of training. And I can also teach on that too, as to how to tap into other people's memories, because I've done that before a lot. And it's pretty interesting feeling. And it happened first on accident, and then you just kind of train to do it more and more, and you just get better and better at distinguishing your own memories, your own past life memories, maybe other people's memories, other people's past life memories, and other people's traumas, other people's your own traumas, like all this other stuff. And it's really, really good for healing and for helping other people, because you can get on their wavelength perfectly, and you can actually fix those blockages in yourself in order to fix them in the other person. So like in that moment, you literally mentally you have to go with your third eye into your light body and then activate those areas that are blocked via the way that you do this is by focusing your consciousness and your projection of your mind onto an image of whatever shape you want the body to be. Imagine the body is made out of white light, and there are 7 sensors throughout this body, and they all have the colors of this rainbow. And imagine that they're all very dimly lit, and that you're looking at them and you want them to start spinning. Like they look like they're rusted and like stuck, and you have to visualize from bottom to top uncrusting this rust off of these gears and polishing them up and getting them spinning again and working together coherently. And after that, you will feel these bursts of love, which is your heart. And that's when you'll be able to start tapping into other people's feelings and emotions. But that's just really quick on how to read people's minds, and I'll go deeper into it in a little bit.